Let's go. Another episode of Outside Shots with my man, Eddie Johnson. He's in the house finally, coming back from a long-ass vacation. I mean, a long-ass vacation. I'm Saul Bookman. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Eddie's already in rare form, so we didn't have to really trip too much about that. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Are you?
I am wonderful. Okay. I had a splendid mid-season vacation.
I mean, it looked pretty dope.
Yeah, you saw my storylines. Huh?
I did.
On Instagram.
I did. Yeah. We'll get to that in a little bit. But obviously, you weren't in Charlotte yesterday, slacking once again.
Ann Meyer's doing a good job.
She's doing a phenomenal job. I mean, above and beyond what they usually do. But KD's here.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go on and on about the implications of this, but game one already happened. What were your overall first impressions?
I wasn't shocked.
Yeah.
I think you look at any superstar that has played in the history of this game, and I'm saying this, he blends in as well as anybody. Now, if Steph Curry was ever to leave Golden State, he'd probably blend in too. The beautiful part about Kevin Durant is he can fit in any offense because he knows how to find his way, and he'll get to his spots. And once he gets to his spots, as we saw last night, after being out as long as he's been, he's just pure. Mm-hmm. And so, that's the way I played the game. I felt like any offense, I didn't care. Just give me my minutes, and I'll learn how to get open, whether it's getting myself open, setting back screens, just making sure I can blend in to whoever has the ball and make sure I get separation, knowing that my man's going to help and I'm going to get the ball. All these things KD knows. And I think the Suns' offense is really catered to how he plays. So I was not shocked at all.
Yeah, I mean, he was phenomenal. KD, your guy, Tim Legler, kind of broke down a little bit about KD last night in his first overall impressions and basically said that he's the most unguardable guy in the NBA because of his length, his height, his shooting abilities, and just his overall IQ for the game. And he pointed out a couple times last night where the Hornets tried to double, triple team, put themselves in positions to have the advantage over KD, and it just didn't matter.
Because he's got great handle.
Yeah.
I just remember watching him when he was basically in high school, just watching him in AAU games and just amazed that a guy that size was able to put the ball on the floor like he did. And that's his key, man. That's his antidote. He has tremendous handle, 2-3 dribbles, and he'll get to his spot. And once he elevates, it's over. And so, no, double team is not going to bother him because he'll move the ball too. This is a guy that, only taking 17 shots a game before the trade. And I felt he was the best player in the game. Mm-hmm. I felt that he was the MVP up until he got injured. And I think Suns fans need to understand what you have here. See, I don't think they totally grasp how great he is. He's averaging 29 points a game this year on 17 shots. Now, go around the league and you look at some of these guys that are scoring a lot of points and look at the shots that they're taking. They're taking plus 20 a game. Mm-hmm. This guy is not even doing that. He's highly efficient. He doesn't take bad shots. Suns fans, I'm telling you, in for a treat. I mean, the guy is unbelievable, and he's going to make the game so much easier for everyone, and especially Devin Booker, who is not shooting the ball well right now. Devin still had 37.
Yeah.
And so when he really gets his legs under him and gets back as well and gets his groove back, it's a dangerous combination.
You were saying we still good when we were going through some rocky moments early in the season. What's the level of good now?
We very good. Hashtag we very good.
Hashtag we very good.
There because I think people get caught up in the 82-game marathon. Now, I like to play the 82-game marathon. Mm-hmm. Some of these guys, Kawhi Leonard and other guys, they don't like to play the 82-game marathon. They like to take time off. Monty Williams doesn't coach like that. If you're healthy, you play. He's not about resting guys. And I think what happens when you go through that, you prepare yourself for the toughness of what's to come, the stretch run, like 19 games left. We got to finish this thing out. We got to fight through little nicks and bruises, all those things. And so for me, I love it, man. I love the fact that we're here. We went through the bumps and roads. Last year was very pristine and pretty easy, and we got surprised. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be surprised this year. We know what happened last year, and guess what? We got Kevin freaking Durant right now, so we can show up to the party like you might not have gotten the girl at the last party, but when you show up with Denzel Washington or my boy Reggie Theus, you know who Reggie Theus is, you might get some droppings, okay? You might be able to get some droppings. So I think the Suns are fine.
Oh, my goodness. Reggie Theus drop in the middle of the show. Okay. All right. We're going there. Just the overall level of how this team will continue to improve as we veer towards the end of the season and really get geared up for the playoffs. What are you expecting? You know, a lot of the talk has been the rotations, right? Going to the bench, going to the five all bench lineup. Obviously, you're going to assume that as they ramp up KD, things will get staggered through the game. But how do you see this playing out in terms of who's going to get minutes and who do you think might get left off?
Yeah, well, people stop with this. The Suns are top heavy, and the bench is a question mark. Whatever. Kevin Durant averaged 29. Okay, Mikal Bridges averaged what? What did he average? About 17, 18?
About 14. 15.
Before he got traded. Mm-hmm. Cam Johnson, what did he average?
Oh, like 12, 13?
There are your 29 points right there. I don't want to hear anything about the Suns' benches. No. They just need to step up and fill the void. And guess what? The Suns have capable guys that can step up and fill the void, and you just said it. Because of those four guys that are dominant on the team, with Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton added to the mix, then they're not going to all be sitting on the bench.
True.
Okay? When he does go to the bench, he's going to have them out there. Kevin Durant was out there with the second unit in the second quarter. So stop playing into that. We picked up Terrence Ross, who can give you 20 any given night. We've seen what Damian Lee can do when he gets hot. You got TJ Warren sitting over there, and I know he hasn't played much, but I am telling you he is going to win us a playoff game.
Ooh.
TJ Warren is going to win us a playoff game. Foul trouble is going to happen or whatever, right? Guy gets nicked up, maybe he can't play. That guy can step on the court, and if he gets his touches, he can give you 20, and he can get you 6, 7 rebounds. I just don't want to hear this. They have enough right now. Yeah, everybody gets greedy, and they might want more. They have enough. Their bench is okay. Josh Okogie is surprising everybody with the way he's playing. Torrey Craig is playing well. And guess what? Those guys are going to be playing ball by themselves. Like, most shots, Torrey Craig, Josh Okogie, Damian Lee. Damian Lee, maybe they might guard him a little tighter because of the three. But also those guys, they're getting wide open shots now. Because if they go double off one of them other four, that guy's the one they're going to double off of. The confidence is going to ramp up because they're getting wide open practice shots, and they're going to be fine. So I think the Suns are fine right now. Yeah, would you like to have gotten a little bigger, maybe picked up a bigger guy? Fine. But Monty feels real good with this team right now, James Jones, and I have no issue with it.
All right. Wow. I did not expect a TJ Warren going to save the Suns in a game. Take.
He and Terrence Ross are both capable of winning a playoff game. They're both capable, as Cam Payne did a couple of years ago.
Are you worried that TJ's defense is going to hold him back?
I don't think he's a bad defender. I don't.
Okay.
I think it's a numbers thing right now. I think Monty believes in Ish Wainwright. He's giving him his run, and I understand that. Like, he's not just going to take stuff away from guys that's been here all year. Mm-hmm. If you're TJ Warren, you got to go straight gangster it. Like, and Ish understands it. He's been battling his whole young career, right, for minutes. If TJ Warren wants to get into the rotation, he's not going to get in there with reputation. Mm-hmm. He just moved to a team that's now capable of winning a title. You got to go straight gangster.
Okay.
And so that's what you do. Practice in games, the short minutes you get. Slowly give Monty some belief. Okay. And all of a sudden, the minutes start to change to his favor. But I think he knows. TJ's been around a while.
Okay. Well, hey, the other hot topic that the Suns universe continues to talk about, and I kind of went on a little bit of a rant last night to just basically say stop. If especially considering most people have not watched a lot of Bazley on the court. What were your overall impressions of Darius Bazley, and do you think he's going to be able to get any minutes by the time we hit the end of the season?
Well, I think he will. But he has to, I think, take advantage of his opportunity. Say if the Suns are in a blowout game and Monty throws him out there, he has to go out there and show. that's his time to audition. Like a lot of players get caught up in, I hate to say garbage time, but a lot of players think that way. No, it's game time. It's an opportunity to go out there and show the coach in those limited minutes at the end of a game that you can use me. And that's how it should be. So, no, I think he'll get his opportunity. The kid obviously didn't play as much as he would like this year in Oklahoma City after really, I think, having a decent year the year before. He's got size. He's got length. He can run the floor. So I think the guy will get his chance. But right now, Monty's going with his guys that have been there all year. And I respect the coach with that, man. I don't want a new guy coming in just straight taking my minutes and didn't take them from me. Mm-hmm. And I think Monty's doing it the correct way.
Okay. All right. Well, that's actually a great perspective in terms of going out and taking it instead of just it being given to you. And I think a lot of guys, based on their reputation, and TJ Warren being one of those guys, had a decent couple seasons despite injury with the Pacers and then with the Nets. I think people assumed he was going to get a little bit more run than he has been. So I actually like that take. And just a reminder, folks, you can come into the chat. You can have a good time. You can debate all you want, but don't be a dick. And if you are,
let me tell you something. I'm seeing some of these water boys and couch potatoes, man. That's what I call you all, water boys and couch potatoes. You don't have no heart, none. Because if you did have heart, you'd have made it on your middle school team, you water boy. So you can come on here and you can rip on me all you want. I don't care. Get your day in the sun, man. Go ahead and rip me, okay? That's fine. I have no issue with it. And while you're at it, go get me some potato chips.
All right. Well, I don't even know what to say. Hey, listen, we appreciate all the love. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to our channel, obviously, so you can get more of this great content. And remember, we're presented to you by OGs, and OGs is the #1 edible in the game. I might need to slide my guy maybe OGs right now, just so he's a little hyped up right now. I kind of like it. So, and remember, they got that new Happy Balance gummy, which is a perfect blend of CBD and THC. It'll kind of soothe your aches and pains, but also it'll mellow you out. And so it's a nice little Happy Balance. They got that strawberry cream that's just now new on the shelves. You can visit any dispensary and they're going to have it. OGs is where it's at. Kevin Durant, the offer still stands. We offered Kevin Durant a lifetime supply of OGs. I don't know if you know that or not. And OGs backed it up. So I put it out there. OGs backed it up. Kevin, just, pick up the phone. We got you. And remember, you must be 21 and over.
Well, I can't get a lifetime thing. I don't use them, but I'd give them away.
Eddie, what do you want me to say, man? What do you want me to say?
I mean,
I give you a few bags.
That's just not right, man. I can't get a lifetime deal.
You're getting you got a contract.
My lifetime deal is not going to be as long as KD. So y'all might save some money. I don't know, though, because, this body is kind of ripped right now, so I'm holding on.
I'll talk to the guys at OGs and see what I can pull for you. How about that? All right. Moving on to, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. Obviously, they've been to the All-Star game. They both were working out during the All-Star game this year, but the All-Star game was an absolute tragedy. It is a mess of a game now. It's not what it used to be. And I know we could always harp on things are not like they used to be and blah, blah, blah. I'm not trying to go there, but the effort and the play itself in the All-Star game, what were your overall impressions and how would you fix this?
I go to the All-Star game every year just for my SiriusXM NBA radio show that you can listen 2 to 5 every day, Phoenix time.
I was going to plug that at the end.
I gave it again, so it's okay. I beat you to it. I go because I have to interview the players, and so that's what I did this past year and had a lot of great interviews. I'd never stay for the game. Never. Now, it's a backstory to that. One is them fools never put me on it when I deserve it.
I know.
I'm not sitting there watching it. But more importantly, it's just unwatchable. It might be watchable for the couch potatoes and the water boys who that's all they could do was try to lay the ball up because that's what we see. It's a glorified layup line.
Yeah.
It's like I remember going to a Prince concert before he left here, and I miss him dearly. Downtown here, right? At the old, it's not named that right now. What's the auditorium?
Down,
you know what I'm saying? Right down the street. But forget about
Anyway.
it. Your memory just bad as mine.
But
I remember going there, right? And I paid $300 per for the ticket. Because I'm going there.
Which back then was like $30,000.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm going there. I'm going to check. I'm going to get me some Purple Rain, little red Corvette. Like, I'm singing. Like, I'm me and the wife jamming on the way down there. Got the stereo blasted. I had the windows down, We get in there and Prince singing jazz. I'm like, okay. And then about halfway through, he says, I know y'all want some Purple Rain. Hell yeah, we do. You're not getting it tonight.
What?
He did one 7-minute soliloquy of all his songs, and he went back to straight jazz. I got up. We left.
What?
Yeah,
Damn.
we left, man. So, that was devastating to me. And that's how I view the All-Star game. It's like you're going there to watch them compete. You're going there to say, okay, let's see how Jason Tatum does against LeBron. Let's see how Kyrie does against, Luka. I mean, just whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got these guys moving out of the way. You got guys just, I don't know how many layups they had that first half.
No.
But I'm like, and a lot of them don't even know how to make a layup. Like, for you parents out there, you want to teach your kid a layup, okay? When you go in for a layup, you don't go in and pick it up and keep the ball down here.
Mm-mm.
Why? Because it gives the opportunity for somebody smaller than you to go in and strip you. So when you go and you pick it up like this, you're probably going to get stripped. When you go in, you put it here. Now they're going to taste elbow, okay? Now you put it here right away, and now you lay it up that way. And you seeing these guys all going in with this. So to me, if you're going to do a glorified layup drill, do it the correct way. I'm just disappointed, man. I just think it should be more competitive. I'm not saying going out there hurt anybody. You can still be competitive and respectful at the same time in that situation. They do it in practice all the time. Yeah. I guarantee you in practice they're not doing that.
Yeah.
The coach is not allowing them to have a glorified layup line. They're competing, but they're doing it respectfully. They're not taking cheap shots. They're making sure they don't get up under guys on their shot. These guys, man, they go out and they just think that's enough. And I think the league is going to change it. They got to do something with it because the ratings on it wasn't good.
Nope.
And it's going to keep getting worse because nobody's going to keep spending all that money that they spend to fly into the All-Star game, for the hotels, pay for the tickets, and watch guys go out there and just lay the ball up.
Yeah.
To me, that has to change.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing for me is Michael used to say, he wanted to play every single game because you never knew who was going to be there to watch you play for the one and only time they get a chance. A lot of people save up their money to go see these kind of things. And that's my issue with the load management when guys are healthy and they're able to play, but they sit out because they're just trying to rest or whatever. Like, pick and choose your time's fine, but I'm not a fan of it. And when you're talking about the All-Star game, the competitive spirit is really what's lost right here. You're right. You've seen better games in pickup ball, and pickup
ball's cutthroat.
And these guys play all summer long. It's not just like,
and they're playing cutthroat in the summertime. Yes. I used to go to UCLA all the time, man, and Magic used to run them games, man. I had to come in there with a bodyguard at times, man. Dude, knock a stew out of me. So yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. So that's the biggest thing, and I hope that Adam Silver will be able to correct this to some degree because again, this is probably the biggest black eye in terms of game play that the league has seen in quite some time.
And the other part. Be fair to players that's having a good 41 games. I happen to think Julius Randle's having a tremendous season.
Yeah.
Some people want to say Brunson's the best player on that team. No, I say Julius Randle. I think Brunson is the more dynamic scorer. But I think Julius Randle to me, gets the tough buckets. He's their best rebounder. He's their enforcer. There's just so many things about him that personifies what the Knicks are doing right now. But he's not a three-point shooter. Give me a break. I mean, he should not have been in a three-point contest.
No.
You saw it. He was embarrassed. Even his son was embarrassed. Okay, his son was calling him out over there on the sideline. Why would he put himself in that situation? Yeah. You can't tell me the league just didn't want to pay for an extra ticket. Call Damian Lee and say, hey, man, come on, show up. Or the kid Joe from Oklahoma City. I think only one of the top 5 during the All-Star break was in the three-point contest, and that was Herter. Mm-hmm. You can't take guys' dreams away from them, man. And, you know, like Joe and Lee and all these guys, they might not get another chance to do that. But they earned that, man. And they go call up Julius Randle, man. And half the guys in there wasn't even in the top 10.
No.
Come on. I mean, reputation is fine, but I don't think people care when it comes to that three-point contest. I think they just want to see a very good score. And that's it. And see a smart song. They did it for the dunk contest. They brought a kid from the G League. Well, so why can't you bring some good players that's shooting well to the three-point contest?
Well, one of the best memories I have of the three-point contest in the NBA was Craig Hodges. Way back in the day when he won back-to-back.
I spent some time with Craig during the All-Star game.
Way back when he won back-to-back three-point contests. In the first year, he was playing for the Bulls. The second year, he was a free agent.
Right.
And they brought him back to defend his title, and he defended his title.
Yes.
And he put on a show. He had like 25 out of 30 points. Again, people want to see a display of skill. And if you're just throwing in random dudes because they got a name to try and match up with that, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work at all.
It doesn't work. Karl Anthony Towns won it last year. I thought it was the worst thing to happen to him in his career. The worst. Even though he's shot the 3-ball well in his career. It's the worst. Because he showed up this year, man, when they got Rudy Gobert and he turned into Steph Curry. Mm-hmm. He out there 6'11" out there jacking up threes. And I'm like, no, that's the worst thing could have happened to him. Leave the contest the way it should, earn it, and let these kids come compete. They're NBA players, okay? And then they can become a part of All-Star Saturday. I think that's what it was meant to do. I don't know who's choosing these guys, but whoever you are, can we have a conversation? Seriously.
Nikola Jokic is an All-Star, and he caught a little flack from Kendrick Perkins because he was accused of basically stat padding. And your boy J.J. Redick went at him and basically told him a complete BS that Nikola Jokic his teams are 23-0 or 28-0 when he has a triple double. You wanted to talk about this particular subject in terms of Perk and J.J. Redick and what's going on there. What say you?
Let me correct J.J. Redick, who thinks he's a historian for the game. And he's not. He has no idea past the year he came into the league. Other than that, he's pretty good. Okay? Very knowledgeable, pretty good. But when he starts to go all the way back, you have not done your research. When you start talking Larry Bird couldn't be one of the top 3-point shooters in today's game and all that, that's when I got to kick back on this.
Oh,
thing.
yeah. No.
Just be quiet, man. Just stay in your era. Talk about your era. Don't come to my era and try to convince me that Larry Bird would not be a top 3-point shooter in today's game with the license to take the sucker every time. You out of your mind? Hey, he wants to be all world, J.J. Redick. Mm-hmm. And J.J. Redick, you stayed in your lane when you was a basketball player. I didn't see you in the post. I didn't see you even trying to dribble it up running offense because you weren't a good dribbler. Okay? What I saw you do was what I did. Come off them screens, knock them jumpers down. Stay in your lane, man. I posted up, though, JJ. Go look at film. So don't try to throw it back at me. But, you know, he goes back too far. So here's the thing. Russell Westbrook had an unbelievable record when he had a triple-double.
Okay.
And they destroy him. J.J. Redick. They destroy Russ. Russ, every time he had a triple-double, I don't know what his record was, but it's an insane record, okay? Go look it up. I threw it out there. Go prove me wrong. But he had an insane record. And so they kill him. And what did they say about Russ? What did they say about Russ when he was doing it? And they accused him of what? Stat padding. They accused him of stat padding. His players are getting out of the way. I can get out of the way for a multitude of guys in the league and say, hey, man, go get the rebound. They can't go get it. Russell Westbrook is probably the best rebounding guard in the history of our game, okay? I used to get out of the way for big guys LaSalle Thompson, hey, you better get out of there, man. I'm going to hit you. You don't come by the ball, right? That was my boy, because that was his job to go get rebounds. Okay, the two best rebounders on the Oklahoma City team that year pretty much was Adams and Russ. The rest of the guys, when they saw them guys in there, they got out of the way. They started running. So, but everybody said he's stat padding. Okay? Nikola Jokic is stat padding just like every other player stat pads. Yeah. They all do. I don't want to, all of a sudden now, Nikola Jokic, he doesn't think about his stats. Really? If you go back in games when he only takes 8 shots, what is he trying to do? Get up 50 assists. That's what he's doing because he's got the ball in his hand. He won't shoot it, so he's just going to pass. You going to tell me his teammates are that wide open? Come on, man. Every player that's played this game, they walk away from the game saying, okay, I got a W, and then they look at what they did statistically. And during the game, it's not anyone's fault. The league put all the players' stats up there during the course of the game. Nikola Jokic knows exactly where he sits, and he's enjoying getting triple-doubles. I have no issue with it. None. Trust me, none. I didn't need that scoreboard up there. I already knew what I had. Trust me, Eddie, you got 16. Go and get these 4, get this 20, man. Oh, yeah. I'm honest.
So you ready? So Russell Westbrook's career win percentage when having a triple-double, 73%.
Thank you.
Nikola Jokic's win percentage when getting a triple-double, 82%.
Yeah, but they both all-time highs.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right. So people want to rip on Russ. But Nikola Jokic is doing the same thing. Why is Russ getting ripped? So that's what bothers me, this protection of Nikola Jokic. No, ain't no protection. I'm not protecting him. He might win 3 straight MVPs, which he's in trouble right now because Giannis is over there winning 16 games in a row and dominating, okay? So Giannis is making a run. And even if Giannis wins, he at least has a title to add to his 3 MVPs.
Ooh.
Nikola Jokic has none. So everybody now is saying, oh yeah, he didn't have anybody. Fine. He got an MVP 2 years ago. Totally deserved his numbers. Last year, he only won 48 games. Mm-hmm. They said, well, that's MVP because he didn't have Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. Now, this year, he has both of those guys. They have the second best record in the NBA. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. The great players, if you're going to win 3 MVPs, you better win a title this year.
Ooh.
You better win a title. You can't. Michael Jordan got ripped when he didn't do it. Magic got ripped. Bird got ripped. They all got ripped. And only one of them won it 3 times in a row. Michael Jordan didn't even win it 3 times in a row. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear these excuses too. Well, it's different now. My co-host on my radio show, Mr. Justin Termini, they build teams now. Players are jumping from team to team. So Nikola Jokic, he just needs to go somewhere else. No, he's got Jamal Murray, who carried him 2 years ago in the bubble.
True.
Okay, dropping 50s. And Michael Porter Jr., if you leave him open, he's going to destroy you. You got a team. You got one of the deepest teams in the league. He is primed to win a title. I don't want to hear anything short of it, especially if he wins an MVP. I'm going to put him in the same bowl and a little bit outside the bowl in regards to greatness as the other great players that have won 3 straight MVPs. Don't want to hear it.
All right. Wow. I told you EJ was in rare form today. My goodness. This is what I'll say about the Jokic-Russell Westbrook. I agree that those two have they get criticized in different ways, and Jokic really doesn't. Basically, the only criticism that Jokic receives is the criticism based on how many times people are defending what he's doing.
Right.
And that's not really a criticism on Jokic. It's more everybody that surrounds him that defends what is going on or justifies why he should be getting X, Y, and Z versus other players that have done similar things, right?
Yeah.
I think both of them are tremendous players.
Yes.
Russell Westbrook obviously gets slighted probably more than I've ever seen any player in NBA history get slighted. I mean, he's got a magnet for criticism.
He's playing well now.
Oh, yeah.
50% from the field.
Oh, yeah.
He hasn't missed a free throw. I mean, and they've lost 3, and they looking at Russ.
Yeah, but
it's just a joke.
But it's not on him. So I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, we're just going to move on because that topic right there in itself is crazy.
Yeah, and I'll just end it with this because a lot of people think I hate on Nikola Jokic. I love Nikola Jokic. I wish, man, if I was playing and I had to pick a player or two, he would definitely be one of them. Could be the top. Well, LeBron would be the top. That's my favorite. You know that.
Yeah.
But he's old now, so I got to throw him to the side. I got to leave him now. But I would definitely jump on that wagon up in Denver, without a doubt. I mean, that dude is special.
Yeah, he is.
And I'm going to put him up there with the special people. But I just get tired of these people trying to protect him.
Yeah.
There ain't no protection now. That dude's supposed to carry everybody. And I'm watching.
Mike B with the super chat, $10 super chat. Appreciate it, Mike B. Hi, Eddie. Thank you for your hard work and the memories, my legend. Love and respect. I work a ton. Sorry, PHNX, for being distant. PHNX is legit as hell. Be blessed, y'all. Hey, Mike B, we appreciate you.
That's
Thank
nice.
you so much, man. See, that's what.
He's not a water boy.
No,
he's not. Yeah, I'm saying. See, he gave a good, thorough statement.
Fired up, EJ, today. We appreciate the love, Mike B, and thanks for coming back. As always. So, and then, we talked about.
Can I respond to this dude?
Which one? Sean R?
Yeah.
Okay, Sean R.
Listen, man.
Wait. Sean R. with the chat. He says, that's not what JJ was saying, Eddie, LOL. He was saying in history, he is not a top 3-point shooter. Doesn't mean his game wouldn't translate.
I'm saying he would be a top 3-point shooter. I'm responding to what he said, Sean. Okay? He would be. Thank you. So I didn't get it wrong, and he needs to keep Larry Bird's name out of his mouth and stop disrespecting the dude that embarrassed me constantly in my career.
And Solo says, y'all clearly don't watch Russ's games. I've never seen so many missed layups in my life.
He does miss a lot of layups, and because if you know Russ history, Joe, you would know that
it's Solo.
Is it,
it's Solo, all the way at the bottom. Solo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why you solo.
We don't want Joe. We don't want Joe catching strays.
Joe, I'm sorry. Joe, I'm sorry. I'm going with the guy that Solo probably is Solo. All right? You need to get somebody around you, Solo, so you can understand, okay? It's a lot. LeBron misses layups now. You know why? Because they old, dude. Like, I want you to run out there and put all them miles on your body and think you're going to still make layups like you used to. Of course he's not the same player. None of us are. I wish you would have seen me at the end of my career when I was 39 trying to run. I looked like I was about ready to fall down. But I was chasing them dollars because I wasn't making the kind of money these guys making, okay? Till they finally found the trickery in me like, Eddie, you done. I know. I know, but I wasn't going to tell you.
Oh, my goodness. There was a gentleman that's a friend of the program. He's been in our chats. He's been an active supporter of PHNX, and we love him dearly. Chris from Phoenix. He sent me something about you back in the day, and he wanted you to answer it. He said, EJ, and it was about you brainwashing, quote unquote, Jeff Hornacek into shooting more. So this is the tweet. Arizona sports history 2/21/89. An injured Eddie Johnson brainwashed Jeff Hornacek into shooting more, according to Kevin Johnson. And Jeff responded with a career-high 32 points with 3 consecutive threes with 3:24 in the second quarter. 10 assists as the Phoenix Suns beat the Golden State Warriors 139-121. Tom Chambers, 19 of his 37 points came in the fourth quarter. And Kevin Johnson had 32 points and 16 assists. Man, those are some gaudy numbers right there from all three of those guys. He wants to know, what did you say to Jeff Hornacek to get him to shoot more and play like that?
I used to say stuff to guys all the time. Rich Kelly, ex-NBA player, got in my ear and taught me how to be a leader and how to get to know people. And he says, Eddie, you got to stare and figure them out. How do you get to know somebody unless you got to observe them from afar, like I did you. And that's why I'm sitting here with you, because I realized you were a nice guy half the time. So he taught me how to actually get to know people without even having a conversation with them. Because Rich Kelly used to always turn and stare at us on the plane. And we used to say, what's wrong with Rich Kelly? And I finally sat next to him one day, and he said to me, I saw him staring and looking around. I said, Rich, why are you always staring at people? And he said, Eddie, that's how I got to know you. He says, you snap at a lot of people when they say stuff to you because they don't say it to you the right way. Have you ever snapped at me? I said, no. You know, and it really made sense to me. And even when I go around and I talk to companies and I talk to them about that, I actually bring that story up. He's always included in a motivational speech that I might have. And that to me is what I did with players I played with. I would tell Jeff all the time, hey man, you scared? You scared to shoot? You know, especially when I wasn't playing. Like, your shot's nice, man. Because they were trying to change his jumper at one point in time. And Jeff and I used to ride to the games all the time. Me, he, and Mark West. We all lived in the same area, and we used to drive to the game. I throw that rap on, make Jeff listen to it. Kid from Iowa. I turned him to a brother, and he started to get real feisty and everything. But no, Jeff was tremendous teammates, man. Still a great friend. We talk all the time, but I just always encourage guys. I once ticked LaSalle Thompson off in Sacramento. LaSalle Thompson was a tremendous NBA player, played 17 years. We were getting ready to play the Knicks. And I went up to him before the game in the locker room. I said, Tank, I was in the mall today, man, and I ran into Patrick Ewing. He said, man, who y'all got guarding me tonight? And I said, LaSalle. He said, please, I'm going to bust him up. I said, Tank, he said he's going to bust you up. LaSalle Thompson had his best game of his career that night. We used to call him Hyde because he turned from Jekyll to Hyde in a moment, and he just destroyed Patrick. And he came in the locker room after the game. He said, see, yeah, he won't say nothing else. I said, LaSalle. He didn't say anything.
Oh my God, the mind games, man! I love it. It's funny because when we watched the Last Dance documentary and people were on Jordan about like he would walk by George Karl in the restaurant and he didn't acknowledge him, and he was just like, and I took that personally. And people still debate to this day whether or not that actually happened.
Oh, it happened.
Or the story with the Bullets player. I forgot what his name was, but he put up 32 or something like that against Jordan. They had a back-to-back, one in Washington and then the next day in Chicago, or in Chicago and then in Washington. And after the game, he said, good game, Mike. And that was all he said. And then the next day, Jordan said he took that personally and he ended up dropping like 48, 32 in the first half against said player who was a rookie. And to this day, Michael Wilbon still says that wasn't true. That never happened.
Well, I don't know if it never happened, but I do know he does take everything personal and everything that he does, cards, whatever. I was in a room with him for, 5 hours one time, day of a game. He wouldn't let us leave. Me, Tom Chambers, Ty Corbin. It was an exhibition game, and he would not let us leave. And we were stiff. I called Cotton, said, Cotton, I can't go. He said, that's okay. I was going to hold you out. Tom called him up. Cotton, I'm sore. I can't go. That's okay. I wasn't going to play you. And Ty Corbin wouldn't dare do it, right? I'm not doing it. So Jordan stands up in the room, and he says, you tell that boy Dan Marley, I got something for him tonight. And now I stood up. I couldn't hardly walk. I mean, literally, we had played the night before, traveled that day. I was stiff as a board. He would not. It was Scottie Pippen in the room, Horace Grant. I mean, we just playing this game called Tonk, okay? And we just going at it. And he looked at Tom and I. He said, I'm going to give your boy 40.
In an exhibition game?
Yeah. We like, who? Dan. I'm like, yeah, okay. Whatever. Bet 100. Bet 200. I took the bet. Tom took the bet.
Oh, no.
So he starts the game, and he just going nuts. I'm over there still stiff. I got heat packs under my clothes, man. I'm like stiff. This man's out there going crazy. And Tom and I sitting there looking at him like, this dude is just insane. So he had about 34. And he walks over to the bench, and he catches the ball. He catches it. He looks at Tom and I like, get that money ready. He catches the ball, and Dan's guarding him. He reverse pivots on him, so Dan's got to backed up, and he went right, and he just tried to tear the rim down. Tongue wagging, he went down like this, right, and holding up 400. Nobody knew what the 4 was, right? And so we're looking. So timeout, Cotton called a timeout. And Michael came over after the timeout. He said, Cotton, your boys, they were playing cards with me all day. Told on us. So that's
He
why.
snitched?
Oh yes. So that's
Jordan
why.
snitched?
Yeah. So that's why y'all not playing. That's why they not playing. And they bet me too. I told him I was gonna give your boy Dan Marley 40, and he had 30. He had 30, 36, 38, and we sitting over there. And Cotton turns to Dan, who's a rookie, right? Because Dan supposedly locked Jordan up, in the Olympics, right? And Cotton looks at Dan and said, Dan, what did you do to Michael? Just messing with him. And Dan was like, I didn't do anything to him. We fell out laughing. And he went, man, he dunked for the 40 on everybody. And look, what ran past bench, I want my money. Checked himself out the game. The next day, Cotton tried to kill me and Tom, virtually the whole team in practice, because he felt that that's the reason we didn't play.
Oh, my goodness.
So Michael will tell.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. All right. Wow. Okay. That was an excellent story, man. I never heard that one before.
Oh, you're going to get a lot of them on this
There
show,
we go.
buddy.
That's what we're here about.
I'm going to have a couple on you.
Well, somebody in the chat, see, always. Somebody in the chat had said, nice hat, Eddie. And so if you don't know, Eddie just came back from a nice, luxurious vacation in Dubai. It's actually Dubai. Did you know that?
Well, we call it Dubai over there. I don't care what you call it.
Well, the correct pronunciation.
Whatever.
Dubai.
Okay,
There you go.
okay.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to provide some culture to you.
Everybody I was around was saying.
Okay.
But I'll
if everybody else jumped off a bridge,
I'll do my. I'm a
saying,
history major. I'm gonna do my research. I'm just not gonna jump on what you're saying.
All right. So anyway, so my man just came back from Dubai, and I think we have some pictures there, Jacob. Yeah, let's take a look at you. Riding.
Me and the missus, we on the camel, man. We in the middle of the desert, and they got all kind of creatures out there, man. Once they told me they had scorpions out there that was the size of your head, man, I got scared.
Yeah, you're lucky you didn't see a camel spider out there. I'll tell you that much, because them things are no fucking joke.
Man, I'm just telling you, man. But that was great, man. That camel that we were on was normally the leader of the pack, and he was mad that he was in the middle, so he kept trying to move up. And so I was getting a little scared, because he was getting a little aggressive. And then the camel behind me, he kept sniffing, man. He kept coming up by my leg, man. I was like, come on, dude.
And then this is you with this little falconry action.
That's
right
a falcon, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they did a presentation on that thing, man, and they let him loose in that thing, man. He fast, man. It was an unbelievable show, man. In the middle of the desert, man. Had dinner, just had a good show out there. Just
in the middle of the desert, you had dinner?
Middle of the desert,
Okay.
yes,
All
man.
right. Wow.
It was, we were in huts and stuff that they built up out there, but it was very nice.
That's cool. And then, obviously we got a couple videos. This is obviously the one of the tallest buildings in the world.
Yeah. I went to the top of that thing, man.
You went all the way to the top?
Yeah, man.
You afraid of heights or no?
No.
No?
High as I used to jump on the court.
Oh, come on, man. Jeez.
Oh, man, you didn't see highlights of me dunking on people.
No, I remember you high stepping. That's about the only highlight that I can remember.
Look, I couldn't jump over a nickel. But no, I wasn't intimidated at all by it. Architecture there is unbelievable. I heard so many stories about it, and I'm sure people watching this, they've been there and they know and they can second what I'm talking about. It's just a tremendous experience, man. It was a bucket list for Joy and I to go, and we got it done.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Like we were talking about before the show, it is one of the more beautiful places in the country. Mm-hmm. And that's the crazy thing about that place is like a majority of it is man-made. It's not, they had to funnel in a lot of the groundwork and the infrastructure to be able to even
Palm Island. That's what it's called.
To build that city in the first place.
I went to the Atlantis there on Palm Island last night. Oh,
amazing!
Beyonce amazing. Opened for them the week before, gave her the whole entire hotel, so all her guests was there and just newspaper people or whatever. But this hotel is tremendous. Wow. Yeah. So man, I tell you, did a 16-hour flight, with business class.
I know. United Emirates over here just laying down. Probably got the pajamas and everything that they gave you, the robe, the whole. Probably had your own shower.
My buddy was in first class. He actually took a shower. I said, man, you didn't need a shower. You just wanted to do it because you're bougie.
Why not?
You're bougie. You're bougie, man.
That's what we call haterade right here. Listen, I flew over there in a military aircraft, so I don't want to hear it. It's a completely
16
different
hours
experience.
in the military?
It was 8 hours to Ramstein, Germany, and then another 3 hours to Qatar.
That was uncomfortable.
Yeah, it wasn't
loud,
it wasn't
too,
the greatest.
right?
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest, but
you got that.
hey, you got to do what you got to
Yeah,
do.
some people got to go the way they go.
Yeah, for sure. And I was in that ocean back there. I actually swam in that ocean.
Really?
Yeah, we went to Qatar because it's in between Qatar and Dubai, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
so.
Abu Dhabi, went there, man, and just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. Enjoyed it.
You just fucked with the Charles Barkley bobblehead. You got some thoughts on Charles?
I wouldn't knock Sean down because I didn't play against Sean, but this dude cost me an opportunity to go to the finals, man.
Yeah, well,
yeah, hey. I can slap him upside his face now. I wouldn't do it in person.
What did you think about his comments about KD?
I just think, the first year KD went to Golden State, I can hear people surprised. I was surprised. Mm-hmm. But after that, man, back off. Like, he went there and you can get your shots and say, hey, man, we want you to stay in Oklahoma City and all that. Fine. But after that, after he got the MVP, then he came back and he doubled down the next year. I had nothing to say after that. Mm-hmm. And I think Charles needs to back off. Like, Charles, my boy, but he did go to Houston. And he joined Akeem and Clyde. Now, I can't be a hypocrite because I went there
what
too.
I said.
Because I went there too. I tried to jump on board. We came up 2 games short to get to the finals. But, yeah, I just think, I'm not one of them old guys on the lawn and not liking the players today. LeBron's my favorite player. So I think LeBron ultimately, I'm not going to say it till he retires, but ultimately he could ascend to be the GOAT because look at his stats and what he's done in his career. And you can talk about his longevity, but what did he do to stay in the league? He took care of himself. That's a basketball player. He did all the things. You haven't heard anything about LeBron. You haven't seen him on TMZ. All around, well-rounded. Lifted his young friends that he grew up with. Took them away.
Eddie, this is not a LeBron podcast.
Not a LeBron podcast, but I'm just giving you a point. And so I'm into today's player. Yeah. I'm not one of them guys that hates on today's game, but I'm going to speak my mind. But I think a lot of the guys that played with me, man, they have a hard time dealing with a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying Charles does. He's making a ton of money right now. Charles making more money than he ever made as an NBA player. But I just think sometimes it just goes overboard. Mm-hmm. Say what you feel and then just let it go, in that regard with all-time great players.
All right. Well, easy now. That's a collector's edition now. It says it on the bottom. Look at that, man. 2004 collector's edition.
Well, if it's a collector's edition, that means it should be sturdy. It should be strong.
Is that?
Yeah.
Is that what that means?
Okay. Go crash. Okay. I'm not going to say a car. Go crash your car you only paid $4,000 and then go crash your car that you paid $50,000. See what happens.
I crashed a Tesla. I bet that bitch blows up. All right. Let's join. Wow. Let's join. You can see EJ today later on at about another hour on the Colin Cowherd show. He's going to be doing a live appearance over there. Also, check him out on NBA Sirius XM. What channel?
Yeah, NBA Radio.
Is there a specific channel?
Well, 86. You go 86.
86 if you got the Sirius XM app.
Eddie Johnson, Justin Termini. Termini, I gave you a plug.
See? There you go.
I gave you a plug, dude.
How about that?
Okay, and the bosses at Sirius XM will like that I'm giving them a plug now. NBA Today Show, Sirius XM, NBA Radio.
There you go.
4 to 7 Eastern Time. Come check me out.
Outside Shots presented by OGs. My man EJ was on one today. Appreciate you. I'm Saul Bookman. You can follow me on Twitter at Saul_Bookman. You can follow my man at Jump Shot 8. My bad. It's Jump Shot 8. Suns take on the Bulls on Friday, and then they take on the Mavs on Sunday. Check them out. We'll be back here next week. Hopefully, we'll be back to our regular time at 11 o'clock, but I don't know my man's schedule. We'll figure it all out. But we will be live. From this point forward, we will be live. I promise you that. Jump in the chat. We appreciate you all for joining our show. Hit that thumbs up before you take off. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you till we see you next time.
Bye, Couch Potatoes.